As long as you get the results I'm looking for, I don't care how you do it. With Misako out of the way and the internal neuroamp finally ready for production, Ryujin Industries will be set for life. Or at least until I retire.
And Ryujin is apparently the be-all and end-all of the whole settled systems.
Exactly. And all you need to do is use it to get the board on the winning side.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting, especially after that bomb SSNN dropped in their last broadcast. I assume Misako briefed you on her preferred outcome. That blasted tech. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened. I suppose you're right. As long as I'm fully aware of the risks, I can properly account for them. My first priority will be to get the board and all security members set up with shielding as soon as possible. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause. I hate to agree, but you're right. And I'm sure Misako will understand my reasoning. Perhaps one of the greatest Ryujin has yet to see. Let's just hope this case surrounding her is resolved quickly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to make sure I'm prepared for this meeting.
You're looking interesting today. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available. Good. I prefer first-hand feedback when available. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity Ltd. Throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why? Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic, which is not a luxury corporations have. It's a financial burden. It would be a huge undertaking on my part. This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match our salary offers. Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. What are your thoughts on SSNN's reports that Misako is allegedly connected to Lucas Drexler? Yes. Desperation often leads to poor life choices. I find it difficult to believe that our CEO was truthfully involved in such endeavors. I look forward to seeing what Alexis can learn about the subject. Yes, Ulara would be a very capable CEO. Her loyalty to Ryujin is unmatched. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been. It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one, hence the added motivation that will bolster sales. It's possible, but with Alexis and Genevieve driving the restrictions and presentation of such a product, it's also highly unlikely. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
Ooh, look at that. Your surgical wound's healing like a dream. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope. That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate human trials in that case. One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp. I'd be the next Ray DeCaris, my childhood hero and mentor. How amazing would that be? DeMarcus, eat your heart out. Don't tell him I said that. He knows I love and respect him. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be? Exactly. Not that I want to gloat over it. Maybe just a little. Okay, so DeMarcus and I have really been looking forward to it, so fingers crossed this deal goes through. I know Masako will be pushing for the acquisition. I overheard the SSNN broadcast. It didn't sound good for her. But Masako's always fully supported my work, which is really all I ask. So until proven otherwise, I'm going to support her as well. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
At least if you're here, you're not screwing up out there. Great, the bane of my department. If you need something, make it quick. You heard correct. I've every reason to believe that Infinity Ltd is the Pandora's box of corporations. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. Have you been spending too much time with Lyndon? There's more to this than just credits. I do pride myself on solid contracts, and this one would be especially challenging. One thing I definitely know is that you are starting to annoy me. I've heard enough. Too bad it wasn't as entertaining as I'd hoped. If you only had some real talent when it comes to convincing. Are you trying to add to my stress right now? First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
Finally, someone in this whole company is talking sense.
Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Masako's lucky to have you at her disposal, even if you are a continual thorn in my side. You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. You aren't the first person to say that. There's definitely something to be said for Ularo. She's ruthless in ways that Misako isn't, and ruthlessness may be just what we need if we're to stay ahead of the competition. Especially after this mess with Infinity. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to my notes.
I've got my eye on you.
Don't tell me. Misako wants to make sure I'm still on her side after SSNN dropped this media bomb on us? Well, I was on Masako's until this news dropped. Now that she's been tied to Lucas, buying up Infinity Ltd. only reinforces the narrative. It's gonna be a hard sell to make this look good. Aren't you the flatterer? You're right, of course. I've certainly handled worse. Besides, I haven't had a good challenge like this in a while. All right, I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it. Now that's a delicate subject. But our competition really is upping their game. If we want to survive the coming onslaught, you're right. Ularu would be the logical choice. And what's your second point to consider? The possible backlash on tech like... However, the internal neuroamp will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from. You're right. The moment you violate your customers' trust, there's a good chance they'll never come back. Even worse, you push them into the hands of your competitors. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
To start this meeting, let me just say that the SSNN allegations are completely false.
And you expect us to just believe that?
If they're false, how did this happen?
I'll be ordering a full investigation, but I have my suspicions, which I'll address once this meeting has concluded. Until then, I'm still CEO, and we'll be moving forward with this meeting to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Do you really think we want a potential criminal? One suspected of being the actual mole here, leading a crucial meeting like this? In fact, I propose we remove Misako as CEO altogether, and nominate myself to take her place.
You can't be serious.
I second the motion. While I know Misako could guide us through this, I believe a more aggressive approach will be needed for the future.
Any arguments against?
Yes, on the fact that I'm innocent and completely capable of doing my job.
Aren't we overreacting here? We haven't even seen we haven't even seen any hard evidence yet.
Let's leave it up to the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Those against?
Nay.
Nay.
Well, there you have it. And now, since you're no longer a part of this board, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
This isn't over. To think I had high hopes for you.
Now, Misako. Don't go taking out your shortcomings on our operative here.
Enough with your attitude, Ularu. I don't care what anyone says or what the evidence is. I know you're behind this. And I'll prove it, no matter how long it takes.
Good thing you're going to have plenty of time on your hands, then. Security. Why don't you escort Misako to her office? I'm sure law enforcement will be looking for her soon anyway. Now, let's get back to business. So, any arguments for the acquisition?
This acquisition is sure to have its financial pitfalls, but as a wise person pointed out, it would have major payoffs in the future. Plus, with their current situation, Infinity Ltd will be more affordable than ever.
I think the timing could work. Misako's removal and our stepping in could be seen as an act of apology.
Arguments against?
After the series of security issues we've had lately, I'd be remiss if I didn't say the acquisition is a bad idea. This simply is not the time.
All right. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
Excellent. Not bad for my first meeting. Does anyone have anything else to bring to the table before we break? The internal neuroamp is exactly what ensures Ryujin's success for the next decade or so. What makes you think we'd shelve it?
Your operative is right, Ularu. The moment the public gets wind of the true capabilities of this tech, we're gonna suffer severe backlash.
Fine, but just know how much it pains me to do this. All in favor of shelving the internal neuroamp?
Aye.
And all against?
Nay.
Thank goodness the majority of us seem to have Ryujin's best interest at heart. I almost hate to ask now, but are there any other matters to bring forth? No? Good. Meeting adjourned.
If only there were more hours in the day.